What is this for again?
Thanking the nurses.
Oh, yeah. Is this a video?
It is.
So I can put my hands in my pockets, it'll be okay. I'd like to sing, actually.
This is where I dance.
Let's start over again.
Okay.
Take two.
Nurses, right? Yeah.
We just take a look at my notes here.
So just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are so busy all the time that we don't always get the chance to tell them how much what they do for us and our patients means. Without them, our jobs can't happen.
You know, we got some great people working here in nursing. And it's not Nurses Week or it's not some national day. It's just, we need to celebrate them. We need to tell them how much they matter.
There's always been a nurse. Behind every great physician, there's a great nurse. And I've always said that, you can't be a good physician if you don't let the nurses make you that.
The nurses here are some of the strongest nurses I've ever worked with, very knowledgeable, very competent. But more importantly to me, they're very kind and compassionate.
We really value their input about the patient, about how the patient's doing, about how the patient's feeling. And I think I think that they should know how much we value that and how much we take that into consideration when we make decisions.
In surgery, the nurses are remarkable. They're with me at night at 3 a.m, 5 the next morning, 7 o'clock, throughout the day, and tireless workers that come to work and come to do things, having the patients ready, having the computers ready, having the scalpel ready. It doesn't go unnoticed, although sometimes I'm at fault for not thanking you enough.
They form the backbone of the healthcare system, and without them, we couldn't we couldn't do what we do every day.
Yeah, the nursing staff is just very committed to high-level patient care, and they practice in a very safe way. And I'm very delighted that I work at the hospital because of that.
The medicine is a kind of an effort, a collective effort, and nobody can do anything by themselves. And nursing is basically at the front line of interaction with the patients. And if they are not doing the right job, we cannot do anything right.
Just seeing them there every day, whether it's just the boring days where we're just going through everything and it's 8 to 4, or if it's something complicated, gets messy, and they're just there for it. It makes not only my life easier, the patient's life easier, and we really appreciate it.
But I'm a family practitioner in the community, and I send my patients to this hospital for the nursing care. We don't send patients to hospitals just to get hacked and whacked at, like my brother does, but we are sending patients there to get better. And what makes them better is the nursing care. That's why they're here. You're the captain of their ship, and keep on doing a great job.
What I wanted to say was that I recognize that really when patients come to the hospital, they come here to get nursed more than doctored. And we pop in, we make our little appearance and, a few proclamations, but really for 24 hours a day, it's the nurses that are looking after the patients. And that's the key part. And that's where the critical importance of the nurses comes in.
I know that if I'm not having my best day, there's always going to be a strong nurse there to point out something that maybe I overlooked, or to really partner in the care of our patients.
The resources you have, you make great use of them, and I really appreciate your work.
My mom was a nurse, and an ICU nurse and a burns unit nurse, and she explained to me that it was really important to be nice and respectful to nurses. She explained that you guys are the ones that are going to make my life better or worse, that you guys are going to make me look good and or bad. And that turned out to be quite salient information I got from her early on. I think she's probably the reason I picked medicine, and it's why I'm here with you today. There is a great quote from probably the greatest Canadian doctor expert, a gentleman named Sir William Osler. He was a doctor from Montreal who helped start Johns Hopkins, and he described a trained nurse as one of the great gifts of humanity. And I have to actually just steal that from him because it's so brilliant. Barack Obama, or President Obama, I should say, was quoted as calling nurses the heartbeat of American healthcare system, and that's exactly what I believe. Personally, I believe nurses are the caring part of healthcare, and I thank you for that.
Without them, the gears of the engine of medical care just will come to a grinding halt. So I really appreciate their dedication to the field and to their ceaseless hard work.
I can't do my job without nursing. Nurses are my hands, my eyes, my ears. They spend more time with patients than I do.
I so appreciate my nurses. Lori, Shelley, Carrie, you make my life so much better. We couldn't do it without you. And you are just, really the center of the clinic when it comes to patient care and getting things done.
The far majority of the nurses here are not just coming in and punching a clock and punching out, but they actually have a deep caring for the patients they care for. And that speaks volumes of why our hospital has been successful. I mean, I don't think it's not rocket science to figure that out.
So as a nurse, I really appreciate the staff that works at Canton-Potsdam Hospital for their strength, for their endurance, for their organizational skills, for their service excellence, just making sure that our patients are being taken care of. I really want to thank you for everything that you do on all levels.
It's a difficult profession. Finance, I keep track of the numbers, but you folks are the ones that make it happen.
It takes a lot of strength to see the things that they see and still keep that compassion alive inside them.
And we all recognize that these last several years, and that CPH is more than several, 6, 7 years, 8 years, that we've been bursting at the seams. There's one group of people that's not crying about it, that's not saying, oh, we're stuffed here, we can't do any more here, the doctors are overworked. You never hear a word from the nurses.
Boy, there's some of our nurses that have a real depth of nursing knowledge. I'm trying to figure out how to say that, because some of them that have been here a long time, that's sort of paralleling my career, are so wise in the care of patients that, their knowledge is like gold.
And their dedication to our organization is paramount, second to none.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're appreciated by your physician colleagues, and you're certainly appreciated by the patients that we serve.
Well, this is the thing. I'm post-call. I didn't realize I had to look beautiful this morning. I haven't shaved.
What they do for the patients is so important. They comfort the patients, they care for them, the nurses are intelligent, the patients and families see that, and it allows the patients and the families to heal, because it's an atmosphere of caring and confidence. And I find that caring and confidence that our nurses provide is more important than the pills I prescribe.
I think the thing that impresses me the most about our nurses is that they treat every patient as though they were a family member. So when patients are suffering, they're compassionate. When our patients are not doing well, they're right there by their side like a daughter or a son would be. And that happens with every single patient, every single time, and that impresses me more than anything else.
When I think about the nurses at Canton-Potsdam Hospital, what comes to mind is first diversity. They come from different backgrounds, they have different educational levels, they work in different settings, but the one commonality is that they all care deeply about their patients no matter where they're working. Sometimes
I more appreciate the nurses when we're taking care of people at the end of life. And you can just see, this isn't just something they do that has, that has no bearing on them emotionally. And I think they're so caring, and you see them, they'll go get things for, family members are standing there, they'll get pillows, they'll get, and it's not something that it's just second nature. And that to me speaks of who they are.
They've treated those patients as though they were their own family. They've, whether it's a hug from the nurse as the patient is leaving after they've completed their course of care with us, or just a phone call to check in and see how they're doing.
They're the first people that patients come in contact with, and they are our forward-facing employees. They have a tough job. They're here 24/7, asked to do an awful lot with an ever-increasing demand being made on resources for the hospital.
I think one of the things that come to mind first and foremost is how caring our nurses are. They touch every aspect of the patient experience, from quality through just that personalized experience around your family. And they actually treat everyone like family. And I don't get that feedback from the nurses. I get that feedback from the patients when I'm out in the community. My neighbors come up to me, and my grandfather was in there, my mother, my cousin, and they had the greatest experience in the world. The nurses were so great, and they just treated us like we were family. And I think that's an important thing, because that's that human element that sometimes misses in care. You know, we're going 90 miles an hour with our hair on fire, and it's often really easy to forget these are human beings we're interacting with as part of a process. And the nurses really personalize that and catch that for us in a lot of cases.
I've also been a patient here several times, unfortunately. And the reason why you had so much trouble tracking me down was because I was actually taking a clinical test. So yeah, I have been a patient. The nurses here cared for me. I've been very pleased, and I wouldn't have wanted care anywhere else. And I had a recent experience where, not here, that was most unpleasant. And I came back here and just said, God, we really should appreciate everybody here a lot better, because, you know, it was just an indifferent environment.
Yeah, I think I've only been here for a couple months, but everybody is extremely hardworking and, you know, dedicated to the care of the patient. So they've also kept a pretty good sense of humor, which is pretty essential in our line of work.
We have really competent nurses. Caring is almost a cliche, but it's also equally true, and compassion is the same thing. And you can't do that job without having those kinds of qualities, those kinds of characters. When you see what they do on a day-to-day basis, and you don't get a day off, it's got to be that level of quality every day. I just think it's incredible, and they do deserve our thanks.
Above and beyond. I mean, it's just what they've done, and that's why, you know, we're really, really fortunate at this hospital to have such a strong nursing staff. And it's not like, you know, the nursing leaders are good, but it's the nurses. It's all of them. You know, it's every one of them. When they go to work in the morning, they're serious about what they're doing. You know, and and it's great, because, like I said, our community has wonderful health care because of that. And it's going to continue to grow because of that.
Nurses are our best asset, okay? Without nurses, you don't have a hospital.
Before I came to Canton-Potsdam area, I came from a big medical center in Phoenix, Arizona, where nurses didn't know each other, the staff didn't know each other except for the unit they were working on. What struck me when I came here is that the whole medical community and the nurses all work together closely. They're friendly, they socialize together, they laugh together, and they really work as a team that is an impossible situation at a larger institution. And I think that personal touch is what makes the nursing care here so very special.
I think it's even better because we have an affiliation with the nursing program at Canton College, or SUNY Canton. And so there's always a ferment of new people coming in, new ideas, new trainees, and that also acts as a nice source of additional nurses to come and work here in the hospital. So I think that has worked out well. But the nursing staff here has really been great over the years.
Nurses are the best nurses here, anywhere. I work in bigger places like Brooklyn, Kings County Hospital, and other hospitals. These nurses are better than anywhere I worked.
Well, the nurses here are taking care of friends and family. They're not taking care of strangers. So there's a whole new level of dedication when you're taking care of people you know and you love.
Well, the one thing that I see with the nurses here is that they are enmeshed in our community, and many of the patients that they take care of are neighbors, family members, and family members of other, members of our family. And I think that is really what separates them. I've worked in a lot of large places, and I believe it is that separates them, because they're able to provide that care. And I think a lot of the compassion that they have comes from them being embedded into the community and providing the care that they would want their loved ones to also receive.
The nurses just treat everybody. They're ancillary people. My x-ray techs, they treat them with so much respect. We had a little gathering at our x-ray party, and we recognized our nurses, and everybody in the room stood up and clapped.
No, but I've been working on some Highland dancing, and I was thinking maybe I could do that.
So I think our nurses are intelligent and caring, and very highly professional. I think those are the biggest characteristics I see with our crew.
Kind, compassionate, knowledgeable, dedicated patient advocates.
Team player.
Hardworking, dedicated, sacrifice.
Steadfast, committed.
Energetic. Honest.
The nurses are just super top-notch.
Beautiful. Supportive. Nurturing.
Caring, compassionate, snappy dressers.
Diligent, hardworking, smartasses.
Dedicated and passionate.
Competence and sense of community.
Attention to detail.
Very warm towards patients.
Strong.
A great sense of humor and a true commitment to our patients.
This is our opportunity to say thank you so much for the wonderful job that you do taking care of our patients and our families. We know how much dedication and sacrifice it takes to give your best to each and every patient. And so for all those days that no one said thank you and it felt like all your hard work was unnoticed, we just want to say thank you.
One of the concerns is they're always going so fast that you sometimes can't catch them to thank them. So any opportunity that we have to thank a nurse, we should.
Hi, I'd like to thank all the nurses for everything that you do. In particular, I'd like to mention Haley Bono. Haley is a very compassionate and caring person. She listens carefully to our patients and is very empathetic.
I appreciate them very much. I love them to death.
Everyone works so hard during the operating room day, and I don't often get a chance to tell you how hard you work and the love you show to patients. Patients often come back to me the next day and tell me how much love and caring they got from everyone. So I appreciate it, and the whole community appreciates it.
Thank you very much.
Hi guys, I want to say thank you for all that you do. I appreciate the work you do and the education you have and how you've always got our backs. It's really good being team members with you.
I just wanted to say thank you to all the nurses who take such great care of our newborn babies. And thanks for helping me out as I get started and taking care of our toddlers, our bigger kids, and all the children that come to our hospital. You guys do a great job.
I want to thank all the nurses for everything you do every day to make a difference in all of our lives as part of the medical team, but also in our patients' lives. Thank you.
There's no way in God's green earth we could do this job without them, for sure. And they, sometimes the providers get a lot of credit, and that's just unfortunately the way it is. But we know who the real glue that holds this place together, and I think the administration knows that too.
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you very much to all the fabulous and superb nurses that I work with. Thanks for putting up with me and my peculiar ways and demands. Just want you to know that I really appreciate it, even if I don't say it to you in face to face. And all the patients and families, thank you. So So you're doing a great, awesome job.
Thank you so much to my nurses.
Thank you. God bless them.
Some days you don't get to go to the restroom, you don't get your lunch. You are, again, just making sure that everything is being taken care of. You might not get to go home. You might spend holidays with your patients versus your families. Thank you.
I want to give a big thank you to all the nurses at St. Lawrence Health System.
You care and you love and you grieve, and you don't expect anything in return. But today I want to thank you. Thank you for doing what you do, because without you, our hospital would be empty. When our patients go home, you are the one that they remember. You see, being a nurse isn't your profession, it's who you are. And we love you for being exactly who you are.
I like working here more than any place I've worked before, and the nurses are a big part of that. That's the truth.
I want to thank all of you for what you do every day of your life, for the high quality of care that you provide to our patients and our families, for your focus on patient safety and outcomes and bringing patient family-centered care to Canton-Potsdam Hospital. Our job at times can be very challenging, and know that what you do every day makes a difference in somebody's life.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to work with each one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
To all of those of you who are on our nursing staff, nurses, and all the team that supports our patients, I really appreciate what you do, and I want to say thank you for all your efforts.
You're all very much appreciated. Thank you.
On behalf of myself and all my departments, I just want to say thank you to all the nurses at CPH and actually in St. Lawrence Health System, and say thank you for everything that you do day in and day out to make our patients' day so much more wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you to our nurses for all the work that you do for our community in serving our patients and their families. As an administrator of this hospital, I see your diligent work every single day that you're here. And as a patient, I also received your care. And I am extremely grateful to you and your teams of what you do for me, for our community, and our families. Thank you very much.
So this night is dedicated to our nurses, who we feel are the most influential and powerful group in our hospital in terms of our success. So have fun this evening, and thank you.